Hey guys, Joe Massey here with Castle and Cooke Mortgage. I'm here with Lon Welsh from Your Castle Real Estate. And Lon, what I'd like to talk about today is something that's near and dear to my heart, is the number of mortgage applications that we're seeing in the market. We've got two really great charts here. If you would, walk us through the chart on the left of what this indicates, and then how that trickles over to the chart on the right and why these are both important.
Delighted to. So, the common question that I get from people all the time is, what number of transactions are we going to have next year? So if you take a look at the transaction count for 2023, it's off by about a quarter from last year, and it's also down substantially from the pre-COVID numbers. So what will happen next? There's a couple of leading indicators that are really, really great to give you a good sense of where the direction of the market is at. So the first one is this chart on the left, and this is the MBA, the Mortgage Banker Association, number of people who are applying for a new loan. So for most buyers, the first step in the search for a new home, after they've decided at home, like, yes, I do want to try to go buy a new place to live, is they'll talk to their mortgage broker and bring in their tax returns and their pay stubs to get qualified. And then someone like Joe could tell them you can qualify for a $500,000 house, and it's going to cost you X dollars a month. So you can see here, the blue line at the bottom is the number of new buyers coming into the market, sitting with people like Joe to apply for a loan. And you can see that it's quite a lot below the previous 9 years of data that we've got. And that's really just a function of the mortgage rates being so high.
That's right.
I think what's encouraging to see, though, is that the gap between the blue line and some of the more recent years has really narrowed recently, as we've seen the mortgage rates go from 8% down to 6.7%. I think that you're going to probably see that next year we're going to have a line that's between the blue line and just a little bit above that, probably like getting closer to the yellow line. Yeah, exactly there, Joe. That's probably where we'll be at. So next year, at the moment, I'd anticipate that we'll have more transactions closed than we had closed this year, which is a really good thing if you're in title, lending, or if you're a realtor. The next leading indicator is when people lock their rates. So when Joe meets with a new client, he'll tell you, hey, the rate today is 6.7%, but that's going to go up or down a little bit based on the market until you find your house and get it under contract. Then we can lock that rate in, and that's going to be the rate for the next 30 years. So this is a chart showing you the number of rate locks every week for the entire year. And that's the black line. And you can see that it's a fair bit below the lines of the years past. But again, the gap is narrowing. If you take a look at, say, week 16 or week 19 of this year versus prior years, you can see this huge decline in the number of purchase locks, as opposed to right now, if you take a look at the gap between us and the blue line, which was last year, we're basically back to being on track with last year.
That's right.
I'd anticipate we'll do a little bit better than 2023 next year, and maybe almost as good as 2022 next year. So there's exciting things. It's a little too soon to say definitively that we have turned the corner on this market, but I can tell you, if we have turned the corner and 6 months from now, we're looking back and saying, yep, this is when it happened, like late November, early December of 23, this is exactly what it would look like. And my hunch is that we're there. We've probably turned it. It's going to get better from here.
I think you're right. I think 6 months from now, we're going to maybe pull this video up and be like, okay, what did we think back in December? We thought we were turning a corner. We're going to pull up this video and say, hey, we were right. And we're going to get to brag a little bit. So hopefully we're turning the corner and things are going to be better. And next year, we're going to see purchase transactions somewhere in the middle of the curve like that. So thanks so much for the insight on that, Lon. These are two great charts that I love, and really appreciate you putting this together for us. Folks out there, if you have comments, questions, if you agree or disagree, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Put a comment down below. Reach out to Lon, reach out to myself. We'd always be happy to chat.